want to give you guys some information today on some recent work that I've done in regards to investigatory work and addressing civil rights violations and crime in regards to individuals in office. I came across a Facebook post where a gentleman was attending a Biden rally in Boulder, Colorado, and he was elbowed, shoved, and coughed on repeatedly by a Trump supporter holding a sign. And it appears from looking at this video, this guy that was holding a Trump sign, it was a couple guys. One was white, one was black, and they just seemed really out of place to me. I know Boulder, Colorado. These guys weren't from around there. One thing that I noticed was the hands of the white guy were incredibly dirty. And I've really seen dirty hands like that on the street. People that live on the street, sometimes they don't clean themselves up too good. I don't believe for the life of me, based on this guy's attire, that he was clean cut by any means. Anyway, this guy decided to pick up the phone and call 911 and attempt to file a criminal report in regards to the assault and requesting a police presence. Well, he basically summed it up for me. He told me that the sergeant had called him back, and she claimed they wouldn't be baited in regards to coming down there, and they're not dealing with any Antifa members. That's what he was told. I wish he could have got that on recording. So I told this gentleman I'd like to help him in regards to his Freedom of Information request, to process that, to learn about how the situation was handled on the back end. Requesting policies, procedures in regards to requesting police presence, requesting service of the police. I'm going to go into detail right now. I'm going to try to make it very quick. So I sent Patricia Robb, who is the supervisor, she is the actual manager within the Boulder Police Department of Records and Information Services. Once again, that is Patricia Robb, the manager of Records and Services. I had addressed her with a Freedom of Information Act request, aka FOIA, and I'd like to go through a couple emails real quick. Patricia, please take notice of Title 18 United States Code 1512, 1513, and 1519. I'm conducting a federal investigation acting as a private attorney general as authorized by the RICO Act. It has been brought to my attention that a citizen was deprived their right to due process yesterday during a Biden rally in Boulder, Colorado. This individual was assaulted by another individual who was a Trump supporter, and this individual had called the police to report the crime of assault. Under Title 18 United States Code Section 241 and 242, that's conspiracy against rights and deprivation of rights, I'm requesting information that shows the rights were violated and crimes were committed against those victims, witnesses, and informants of crime. A call was made yesterday on October 31st at 4:14 and 4:47 p.m. to dispatch, and that would have been October 31st. And a call was made from an officer with a telephone number, blah, 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 in regards to the situation. I would like any and all information surrounding these reports, call logs, dispatch recordings, and all records in their entirety surrounding all of this matter. I would like to know the names of the officers that received the report. I would like their names, badge numbers, and copies of the information that they've received in regards. The information requested could have the name tied to it as a caller and reporter of crime. I'm just blotting that out. In addition, I would like to be furnished your department's policy on how to respond to criminal reports regarding physical assaults. Protocol and procedures, please. Also, furnish me the policy that allows your department to decline criminal reporting at your discretion. I want the names of everybody who received information regarding the original reports that were made, including dispatch. In addition, for that day, Saturday, October 31st, I would like to know exactly how many calls were declined service that came in from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. that day. You can return the Freedom of Information request to this email address. In addition, you can carbon copy another individual, as this request pertains to him that I am currently requesting information on. Thank you. The response back was from Patricia Robb. The materials you are requesting are criminal justice records. subject to the Colorado Criminal Justice Records Act, CCJRA, CRS, Colorado Revised Statute, Title 24, Article 72, Part 3, or public records, subject to the Colorado Open Records Request Act, CORA, Colorado Revised Statute, Title 24, Article 72, Part 2. In order to officially request copies of reports, call logs, dispatch recordings, police, or statistical information, please complete the attached request form. Once the completed form is received, you will be provided with an estimate of fees and the time it will take to prepare the responsive material. We will begin to work on this request after payment and the request form are received. Well, that's new to me. I've never had a individual come back to me and give me state statutes in regards to the state's information requests. Well, I'm not requesting a Colorado Criminal Justice Records Act. I'm not requesting a Colorado Open Records Request Act. I'm requesting a Freedom of Motherfucking Information request. So, I had replied back to Patricia. Right now, I'm putting you on notice that you are conspiring to retaliate and commit crime. Please take notice to Title 18, United States Code 1512, 1513, and 1519. I'm going to just abbreviate these sections here for 1 second. Section 1512 of Title 18 constitutes a broad prohibition against tampering with a witness, victim, or informant. Section 1513 of Title 18 embraces two types of conduct heretofore beyond the purview of federal law. It reaches threats of retaliation and it attempts to retaliate. So that's what that covers there in regards to retaliation, aside from the initial 1512, which is tampering. Section 1519, whoever knowingly alters, destroys, mutilates, conceals, cover-ups, falsifies, or makes false entry into record, document, or tangible object with the intent to impede, obstruct, or influence the investigation or proper administration conducting amounting to of any matter within the jurisdiction of any department or agency of the United States or any case filed under Title 11 or in relation to the contemplation of any such matter or case shall be fined under this title, imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. So it says, please take notice of the due process clause under the 5th and 14th Amendment. The 5th and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution each contain a due process clause. Please take notice of the Supremacy Clause of the United States. And that is Article, I'm not good with Roman numerals. Article 5, I believe. Article VI, Clause 2, establishes that the Constitution and federal laws made pursuant to it and treaties made under its authority constitute as the supreme law of the land. And then I said, take notice of the Freedom of Information Request Act, FOIA, 5 U.S.C. Section 552, is a federal freedom of information law that requires the full or partial disclosure of previously unreleased information and documents controlled by the United States government upon request. And I said, so what were you telling me again about your state law? So what you were telling me again about your state law is completely irrelevant in regards to my request. I have no consideration for your state law that is completely violating my federal rights. By denying me my request, you are participating as an accessory now after the fact. I said, the records request is not under CORA, it's under FOIA. Are you denying me my Freedom of Information Request Act under federal law? Yes or no? Your silence will be construed as acquiescence. I have said, it appears you are denying me my federal right under Freedom of Information and trying to sway me under Colorado Open Records Act. They're denying, this is my response to the individual who was assaulted. I said, it appears that they are denying me my federal right under Freedom of Information and trying to sway me under Colorado Open Records Act. They're denying me the federal right to information. I just put them on notice. They're digging their hole deeper. I had no idea the state was attempting to skirt federal law so hard. Okay, so I have sent Patricia notice. I said, Patricia, I sent you the information you need to do your job, so you cannot claim ignorance later, and I would instruct you to do your duty as required by federal law so you do not violate your qualified immunity. And I have included a notice of the Supremacy Act and instructed you to stop attempting to use state statutes and local court policies to subvert the United States federal code and my constitutional right to due process and discovery. Ignorance of law is no excuse. Ignorantia juris non excusat. So that is pretty much the basis of it. And I have signed off on that by taking notice. Mike, certify that I have delivered previous legal notice to Patricia Robb on November 2nd, 2020 at their email address, raabp@bouldercolorado.gov, through a succession of emails signed as myself under Title 15 United States Code Section 7001, which is a general rule of validity. So just to cover up really quick what I've introduced here is I have found that Colorado, or specifically Boulder, Colorado's police department, is denying individuals their federal right under the Freedom of Information Request Act to procure information that is publicly available under federal law. And what they've done is the Democratic and Republican parties and members of the bar have produced invidious legislation that would abrogate citizens' rights to do things that they have a federal right to do. So therefore, these individuals are conducting themselves in a criminal manner when they produce this invidious legislation, therefore abrogating citizens' rights and committing crimes while in the process holding the Constitution and Bill of Rights and the federal law. They're in contempt thereof. So what does this mean? Well, this is a big deal. So I stirred the pot with the Boulder Police Station, and I put them on legal notice because they broke the law, federal law, or at least Patricia Robb did. And what this means is after the fact, apparently Boulder City Council had reached out to the individual's father. And the father reached out to the individual and said, you need to get in contact with the Boulder Police Department quick. They want to investigate. Okay, well, here's the thing. It's a big deal because now they are interested, and they allege that we're not going to get baited by Antifa. Are you fucking kidding me? Antifa wasn't on scene in Boulder, Colorado that day. They had completely denied an individual's request for service. They denied a tax-paying citizen the right to report on crime. And I want the information. I want to know who dispatch was. I want to know who the sergeant was that called and responded and replied with that snide comment about being baited and refusing to report to an Antifa member. This is absolutely ridiculous. And, well, they're interested now. Here's the thing. This individual is not going to allow Internal Affairs any investigation in regards to the crimes committed by Boulder County Police or Boulder City Police Department in Colorado. He will give them the information that they request pertaining to the initial investigation. But as far as the internal investigation, you know, that part where they sweep the criminal acts under the mat within the agency and allege that no crimes had been committed, like Officer Whiten did in my instance where I furnished a video of an unlawful detainment And I have several of these videos in Boulder, Colorado. I submitted a video of unlawful detainment, and I pointed him to the exact minute marker in the video where he could view an officer during the investigation tampering with a video recording device, which is tampering and obstructing justice by way of tampering with evidence during an active investigation. And I called him out on it. And in the video, I called a superior out on it, the sergeant. And it's a big deal. It's a big problem. They conspire off record to tamper with evidence, and the individuals could be victims, witnesses, and informants of crime. And these cops are going to step aside and try to find anything and everything they can to meet their numbers because they have quotas. These people that are wearing blue uniforms, rocking blue lines, are a part of a criminal organization. They are openly used by the lawmakers and the politicians to solicit attempted extortion and criminalization of a whole class of citizenry. And if you were a bootlicker, you wake up in the morning and you deep throat those boots to shine for breakfast, let me tell you something. Those boots solve 3% of crime. 3% of crime that is actually reported to the police is virtually solved. So the other 97%, I guess you ain't shining hard enough with that silver tongues of yours. So that's pretty much it. I've started on this path. I've come a long way. I started out with I got a Facebook page, Policing Boulder Police, and it started as a journal where I could upload documentation and instances and rights violations of myself, and if I documented them, others. And my videos on YouTube on this account with the Boulder Police had been pirated off of Facebook, chopped up, uploaded to cop block pages, Northern Virginia cop block, Police to Police 2.0, all these. And over 8 million views on one of my viral videos. And I'm not proud of that. I'm really not. I conducted myself in a manner which I was anxious, I was animate, very animate, and they take my behavior and they construe it as hostility or anger or no, you can't say rage because I'm not fueled with a fiery frenzy, but it's definitely misconstrued. I've had several encounters with police. I've had several charges throughout my life, the most recent over the past few years, and these have led to malicious prosecutions and no convictions. So I tell you guys who out there want to criticize me for what I've done and what I do, I haven't been breaking the law. I haven't been breaking the law. So while you tell me I just need to follow rules and lick the boots, how about you lick where the sun don't shine? Okay? Because the comments coming from the peanut gallery I could care less about. This is for educational purposes. This is a one-stop 14th Amendment audit shop for a very good reason. Conducting an audit on every official I come in contact with who does their job, which means I have to have an idea of how to do their job before I conduct the audit so I can do it in a formal, proper manner. And if they want to violate their qualified immunity by completely ignoring what their duties are, so be it. You can go. And the big deal is documenting this. If everybody knew how to probe officers and offices, individuals in offices, conducting audits surrounding things they'd like to get done, you can get a lot done faster if you root these idiots from offices by proving through your audits that they've committed crimes against you. And what I found since I've been conducting an audit surrounding the criminal theft of my RV, I found that I have more criminal charges to allege, and I have documented for the record more criminal charges than I have been charged with myself on these individuals than I can imagine. I have about 3, 4, 5 times the amount of people and 5 times the amount of charges I've had in the last few years multiplied in regards to this. So what does this say? I'm going to tell you right now. Through my audit, I'm finding more crime is being committed by officials in office than it is out here on the fucking streets. Yeah, believe it. That 3% of crime they solve? Bullshit. It's bullshit. They are working for the politicians and the corporations. They are working for profit. This is a business when they are in the line of sales to sell your ass citations with quotas. They have quotas. These are salesmen. I've been in sales, retail, commission, non-commission. These guys will sell your ass charges they know nothing about while you lick the boots of people that they are called lawman. Well, let me tell you, this is warfare in the form of law, called lawfare. And you should get educated and familiar with this. It's been cited throughout our history, and it is the biggest, most form of domestic terrorism in the United States today. This is not a conspiracy. This is the truth. We have constant officials being elected through popularity contests, through deep pockets. It's all in who you know. We have these people getting elected to hop right in the office, to start conducting themselves in an organized criminal manner, to start profiting at the expense of your physical and mental health. I swear to it. It's in the books. I mean, it's stupid that people are out here fighting for the lesser of two evils this election. The brainwashed masses are voting for the lesser of the evil. Well, I'll tell you what, creepy Uncle Joe, that's all I got to say. Donald Trump, I don't need to say no more. He's a joke. He's a misogynistic pig. He's promoting a division within our country by subtly promoting racism. Racism. And if you guys look back to Nazi Germany, you will understand that the populace had to have been completely brainwashed to follow the fucking program. Completely brainwashed. And that's where you're at today. Most of you, majority of you, are completely brainwashed. They've told you to follow the program. They've told you to do as you're told. They've told you don't ask questions. It is what it is. Well, I tell you how it's going to be. I am smarter than the shit you are shoveling and feeding me, and I'm going to continue to filter through the bullshit. I haven't had a job in years. I look at this as a very important job. Most importantly, is it a civil service. It is a civil service. These First Amendment auditors out here, come on, guys, I applaud you. But for the First Amendment to limit yourself without conducting a 14th Amendment audit surrounding your First Amendment audit, you ain't doing shit. And I would encourage you to do better. True patriots out here are trying to bring life and fruitfulness back into this country. And I'll be damned if I'm going to continue to let people that get elected or have been elected to go free of their crimes for abrogating the citizens' rights. I'll be damned. I understand how the system was put together now. I wanted to reverse engineer it like some form of mastermind because I'm a slight control freak who wants people to have more control in their lives. I don't want control over anybody. I wanted to actually run for president once because, you know what? I believe that I can do a good job. And I believe that people need to have more control. There needs to be a more sense of unity. So these lawmakers that get elected into these states that abrogate our rights, the 50 states that is, the divided states within America, it's a joke. There is no federal cop oversight to tap the state on the shoulder and say, hey man, you can't produce this bill. It's going to violate their rights. No, it's a constant erosion while the federal government does this. They're willfully blind. They don't give a shit about your rights. Nobody cares about your rights. People care about people's rights. Officials have qualified immunity. They have a free pass. And when they violate that qualified immunity, like in the instances to which I'm recording, oh, this ain't good for these officials. I promise you. There's jail time behind all this federal law. These criminal codes, retaliation, obstruction, tampering, there's jail time behind that. So I've kind of got off on a rant. I'm going to do one more video in regards to, actually, no, I covered that in the last video. Wonderful. So that's that. Yeah, I just wanted to share this information surrounding the Freedom of Information request. I've been flying these off the chain in the state of Virginia, and not once have I been hit with some Virginia revised statutory code to undermine federal law in regards to a Freedom of Information request, which makes me proud. However, with all the crime I'm addressing, none of these officials care. You want to know why? Because they're the ones who are participating in the organized crime. That's why they don't care. So we're going to force them to care, like a game of chess, checkmate. And if I've come in contact with you and you're an official, you better scramble. You better scramble. Producing a federal case right now, documenting all contact to show patterns of behavior. Not just me, others. We're going to join cases. We're going to take this country back. We are. Because it's been taken from us. Long before I was born. I was taken as a slave into this country when I was born. Give me a number like a Jew in the Holocaust. Yeah. Social Security Administration, I don't pay into that bullshit. I'm not for profit. I'm not for hire. I don't need a Social Security plan or program or a number. There is a Federal Privacy Act that says no government agency requires a Social Security number under that Privacy Act. You know what that says? We don't need it. With that being said, I'm going to bid you guys a farewell. Have a good night. I appreciate a couple people coming and tuning in. And I would encourage all the idiots out there who are in the peanut gallery who love to attack me and try to bring me down through your comments. I don't give a fuck. You're generating traffic for me. I care less. Sometimes I comment back. Whatever. We all get bored sometimes. You know, your moms keep me company. That's all I got to say, man. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful day. Take care. And thank you for coming by and checking out One Stop 14th Amendment Audit Shop. If you feel so compelled to share any of my material, I would encourage you to share. I'm growing in this, and there's going to be a more formal manner that I conduct myself in, because as I do this, I'm becoming a professional. Not going to lie. I've been in sales, retail. I've done a lot of various work. And one thing, if you ask me my job title, professional. Whatever I do, I'm going to do it good. And yeah, that's that. Anyway, have a wonderful evening. Y'all take care. And